Yeah.
And I think that it might not happen to this extreme level often like this. I think this happens more often than not. When a lot of the times, I think a lot of times women have babies with men that the men they think that man is gonna stay around because of that baby. Yes,
So
and it's not. It doesn't happen that way. And I think that a lot of the times it might not be to the extreme of unaliving your child or abusing your child to that level. But how many times have you heard?
Resent your kid?
How many times? How many times have we seen a woman be resentful? Or oh, you look just like your daddy. Or you sound just like your daddy. Oh, you gonna be a loser just like your daddy. So we have seen women do that regularly. And like I said, okay, yeah, this is more extreme than that. But how do we even help the children that are in situations like that where they're constantly being alienated even from the other parents, or he made to feel like, oh, my other parent ain't shit because I'm constantly telling me that he ain't shit.
So I guess at that point we got to set we have to set what the consequences are. That's just like for men who don't take care of their kids for whatever reason. Yeah. They put us on child support, they lock you up for that. There are consequences for not taking care of your kid. So when you flip that and the woman, the mother doesn't want the kid or is leaving the kid, just doing all these horrific things that we're sitting here talking about and that we've heard about. What are the consequences, or what should the consequences be for women who do things like that?
They need to go to jail.
They do, but
I think that that's not going to happen.
But it's like an extreme case, until somebody.
It shouldn't have to go there. It should be.
Right.
Hey, let's hold this person's feet to the fire and hold them accountable before we even allow them to go to that level. I think that these people, their signs are there. It's just like when you're in a relationship with a nigga that's always cheating. The signs is there. You know that you being cheated on. You know what's going on and whatnot. If anybody is being abusive to a child, the signs are there. You can see what's going on. I just think, like Excel said, it's a lack of village and it's also a lack of caring. Okay, the signs are there, but you going to a school and each class got 30 kids in it. How are we supposed to give you individual attention to be able to help you?
Well, I think it's just too many restrictions and not enough ability to regulate. So the restriction is, for example, I can't go talk to your kid, right? Yeah. That takes the village out. Now, at the same time, the government can't just, invade in the personal privacy of how you're going to be adulting and parenting with your child, right? Because the real thing would be able to be monitored the whole time. But if you're monitored the whole time, then obviously that's going to invade your privacy. Yeah. So it's like, there's no balance here.
But it's also
y'all, I'm sorry, bro, but y'all kind of letting women off the hook here. All I hear is an excuse for the woman, the village, this, that. This is solely what they asked for, okay? And this is why this is happening. I see it every day. When I'm not on show, I'm PTA 2K. I help with my children. I'm at the school. Whoop, I can tell because these be the same. You don't got to have a talk with them. Look at the kids and see who wrinkle.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. Yeah. Accountability is
you can tell who these kids are with piss poor mothers. Yeah. Who trying to do it by themselves. Usually for government assistance. And you too independent, man. Listen, it's an easy fix. Get these men back in the house.
But what happens when those men aren't good examples for the children? What happens when those men are sitting around drinking? What happens when those men are abusive?
That's hit or miss.
What happens in those situations?
I'm gonna be honest.
That's very hit or miss.
You can have a man that's terrible to a woman in a relationship, but he's a great father.
I agree with that.
But it's a lot of times they don't get the chance to be that father because those women are upset because of the person that they were to them.
I 100% agree with that.
But I feel just his presence alone, though, like you have to understand, just because I'm there, she won't mistreat the kids.
Oh.
Bad guy or not.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I get what he's saying, but I'm a match you and raise you one, because when he say that, look at the kid that's wrinkled. The young lady who had the kid who, which one was it? You said what did she do?
She unalived him and buried him?
Unalived and buried her kid.
Yeah.
And the one who was going to see her boyfriend. And the baby died because the dresser fell on her. Where was the niggas that they was going to see? Why you ain't say nothing about the fact that they didn't see their kids?
That was something
She got
weird.
3 kids living in a house she ain't seen in 5
years. That's not his responsibility.
No. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's his responsibility. Yeah. What I am saying is this. If I'm with somebody, if me and you together, and you tell me you got kids and I never see you with your kids, I'm going to wonder why.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that I can do anything about the fact that you not with your
boyfriend,
kid, but it's going to make me. It's gonna raise my.
Most
eyebrows.
women do that. Most men don't.
The boyfriend for the lady that had the 2 children and one of them passed away because the thing fell on her. He absolutely knew. The police did an interview with him and they asked basically how often was she over there, how often was the kids over there and whatnot. And he said that she was over there every weekend and the kids might be over there one weekend out the month. So he knew everything that was going on.
But what if she telling him they with a babysitter?
As a boy,
that could be the case.
It don't matter.
Another thing too.
I don't feel like it's his responsibility, but I do feel like you play a certain role once you're involved.
You
with
don't
people.
though. Listen, as a boyfriend that just fucking, I don't. You say
he ain't gonna pay attention.
I don't care.
But can I
got time to fall.
That's fair.
Can I say this? Yeah. I wanted to speak on it, but like the conversation kind of shifted back to when he was saying like, as a society, we know. When he said pay attention to the wrinkled kid. Yeah. So I'm gonna say this, and when I said what I said about the involvement, on top of the evolvement of the human race, you do realize that the population has blown to way more people than it was before, right? Right. So back then, when you had that village and you had people that cared and paid attention, you probably have a class full of 20 kids, and only one kid came out of them 20 kids that was dirty or something. So it's easier to pay attention to that one kid. Now, look at us now in the world we in now.
All
you got
20
a class full of 30,
kids.
you have 15 dirty kids. So because it's so much going on and there's so many, people get exhausted on trying to help, or if they do try to reach out, mama got an attitude, don't tell me what to do with my kids. Nobody wants to help. Nobody wants, they don't want it because now it's a bad thing. Now you in somebody's business. Now you trying to take my kids away. When I'm just trying to help you. I don't necessarily want to get them took from you, but what do you need? And also back then in the families, white and black, remember you say women have them kids by men that they didn't want, right? Mm-hmm. If you pay attention, you know how a woman, your mama would take care of your kids. Some of them kids was growing up thinking that their mama was their sister. Mm-hmm. And the whole time it's because, your auntie raised your child. Or back then, family used to literally take responsibility for each other. All right, you did some bullshit. You don't want this kid. I got an auntie over here who can't have kids. So one of them. Yep. They'll take the baby or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or you had that one fucked up cousin who just kept having kids. And different family members would take them. Now, people just be so stuck into their own world of, that's her problem. If the state want to get them, the state want to get them. I have a friend right now who she has 2 biological children of her own. And then she had 2 kids from her cousin that was on drugs. And she brought them into, she has a nice sized family. The girl owned mama and them didn't even want, to take on that responsibility. And she did to keep them out the system. But that's rare.
What you forgetting to say about that, when the auntie was taking care of the kids, is because she had a 2 stable.
She could do it, yeah.
No, now they can do it. It was a man and a woman.
But sometimes it wasn't though.
That loud.
I really hate when I agree with that nigga.
To be compassionate. Why that dude just picked up an extra mouse in the house?
Because now it's okay to, like you said, we've had this conversation amongst each other. It's not, it ain't the thing to do to stay no more. You know, like they used to stay back then. No matter what they went through, people would be together for 40 years. You ever wonder why you walked into their house? Sometimes they in separate bedrooms. When they get up in age or they get past a certain, they still wasn't breaking up. They had all these issues that they had that we never knew about. Why you find out about stuff when people die and these kids pop up and stuff like that. Our grandmas and stuff be knowing. But like you said, when you get into them situations, there's nothing. He can't cheat on me and I'ma leave. You feel me? You feel me?
But there's a whole family.
But that mind frame what I'm trying to tell you is the world that we live in now. That mind frame is not our mind. We're not like that no more.